Have you ever noticed that the people with the most self-control often seem to have the most power? Not because they're louder. Not because they're more intimidating. But because they never seem to let their emotions control them. Meanwhile, most of us have experienced the opposite. One angry comment ruins our day. One moment of frustration leads to words we wish we could take back. One impulsive decision creates consequences that last far longer than the emotion that caused it. The truth is, most people don't lose opportunities because they lack talent. They lose them because they lose control. Real power isn't about controlling other people. It's about controlling yourself, especially when life gives you every reason not to. Imagine how different your life could feel if you didn't react to every criticism. If you stayed calm under pressure. If you made decisions based on wisdom instead of emotion. That kind of strength changes relationships. It changes careers. It changes the way people see you. And, most importantly, it changes the way you see yourself. In this video, we'll explore why self-control is one of the greatest predictors of success, how emotionally strong people quietly develop it, and the practical habits that can help you build unshakable inner strength, without pretending to be someone you're not. Before we begin, if you're committed to becoming calmer, stronger, and more emotionally resilient, subscribe to Quiet Improvement, give this video a like, leave a comment, and share it with someone who could benefit from this message. Now, let's discover why self-control isn't a limitation. It's one of the greatest forms of power you'll ever develop. Why losing self-control makes you weak. Many people take pride in staying calm, composed, and seemingly unshakable. They believe emotional control is a sign of strength. But sometimes, what looks like calmness isn't calmness at all. It's survival. It's a strategy we develop to cope with overwhelming emotions, constant pressure, or environments where expressing our feelings never felt safe. Emotional control becomes a shield, a way to protect ourselves by keeping everything inside. Over time, however, that shield can stop protecting us and start separating us from our own emotions. True emotional strength isn't about suppressing what you feel. It's about understanding it. Therapy and emotional healing often reveal what's hidden beneath that calm exterior, feelings that were never expressed, needs that were ignored, fears that shaped years of silence, and the exhaustion that comes from trying to appear fine all the time. Emotional control may have served a purpose. But lasting growth invites a different kind of strength, one built on awareness rather than suppression. The truth is, we can't simply tell ourselves to stop feeling anxious or magically become more confident overnight. Our emotions originate deep within the brain, through unconscious processes that aren't completely under our direct control. What we can control is how we respond to them. For example, if you find yourself thinking negatively about someone you love, you can consciously shift your attention toward the qualities you genuinely appreciate in that person. If anger begins to take over, you can pause and ask yourself, is this anger helping me? Will holding on to it improve this situation? Often, looking at the bigger picture is enough to soften emotions that once felt overwhelming. For many people, emotional control begins much earlier in life. Maybe you grew up believing you had to be the easy child. The peacemaker. The one who never caused problems. The one who stayed quiet to keep everyone else comfortable. Over time, staying calm stopped being a choice. It became part of your identity. What appears to be confidence in adulthood may actually be a childhood survival strategy that never had the chance to evolve. Maintaining that image requires enormous amounts of energy. You constantly monitor your tone of voice. Your facial expressions. Your reactions. Even your own needs. While other people see someone who seems balanced and emotionally strong, you may quietly feel disconnected, emotionally numb, or simply exhausted from carrying that invisible weight every day. At the same time, losing self-control, even for a single moment, can create consequences that last much longer. Impulsive decisions often lead to lasting regret. Emotional spending can damage your finances. Reckless choices can harm your reputation. Research consistently shows that people who struggle with self-control are more likely to engage in risky behaviors that could have been avoided with a moment of patience and reflection. Emotional regulation also plays a vital role in healthy relationships. An angry outburst at work can damage years of professional credibility. A heated argument at home can create emotional distance that takes months to repair. Strong relationships depend on patience, empathy, and the ability to manage emotions, qualities that become difficult to sustain without self-discipline. Real power isn't found in never feeling emotions. Real power comes from learning how to experience them without allowing them to control your decisions. That's the difference between reacting and responding. And that difference has the power to change your entire life. Self-control is a superpower. Research has consistently shown that two qualities predict success more than almost anything else: intelligence and self-control. Surprisingly, self-control often turns out to be the stronger predictor. Self-control is the ability to regulate your emotions, thoughts, and behavior when you're faced with temptation, pressure, or impulsive desires. It's the ability to delay immediate gratification in order to achieve something far more valuable in the future. Most psychologists agree that self-control begins developing during childhood. Some children struggle simply because they're still learning social rules and emotional regulation. But for many people, a lack of self-control isn't a permanent weakness, it's a learned habit. It's often the way we've learned to cope with stress, anxiety, frustration, or uncertainty. The encouraging news is that habits can be changed. Study after study has linked self-control to better academic performance, healthier lifestyles, stronger relationships, greater emotional well-being, and a higher overall quality of life. For thousands of years, religions and philosophical traditions have praised self-control as one of humanity's greatest virtues. Only in recent decades has modern science begun to confirm just how powerful it truly is. Perhaps the most important thing to remember is this: self-control isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. Just as you can become more focused, more compassionate, or more disciplined, you can also train yourself to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Fortunately, there are practical strategies that make this easier. First, reduce temptation whenever possible. If you already know certain situations trigger unhealthy behaviors, don't rely on willpower alone. Design your environment wisely. Keeping junk food out of sight makes healthy eating easier. Turning off unnecessary notifications reduces distractions. Avoiding situations that consistently pull you away from your goals isn't weakness. It's wisdom. The good news is that temptation rarely lasts forever. If you can resist for a few moments, the urge often begins to fade on its own. Second, pause before you act. Even a few seconds can completely change the outcome. That brief pause gives the rational part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, time to take over. Instead of reacting emotionally, you begin thinking about long-term consequences and making decisions that align with the person you want to become. Third, move your body. Research published in the British Medical Journal suggests that even short periods of physical activity increase blood flow and oxygen to the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and self-control. A healthier brain makes better decisions. Fourth, get to know yourself. Strong impulse control is one of the clearest signs of emotional intelligence. The better you understand your emotions, your triggers, and your habits, the easier it becomes to manage them. Don't waste your mental energy on things that don't matter. Save it for the moments that truly test your character. Planning ahead can help tremendously. Preparing your meals for the week, organizing your schedule, or simplifying daily decisions reduces unnecessary mental fatigue and leaves you with more self-control when you need it most. Finally, stay organized and eliminate distractions whenever possible. Like a muscle, self-control grows stronger with consistent practice. It also becomes exhausted after long periods of decision-making. That's why it's often best to avoid making major life decisions late at night, when your mental energy is already depleted. Learning self-control takes patience. It requires understanding where your anxiety comes from, facing uncomfortable emotions instead of escaping them, avoiding unnecessary temptations, and investing in habits that strengthen your mind, such as meditation, relaxation, exercise, quality sleep, and self-reflection. Every small act of discipline strengthens the next one. And over time, what once felt impossible becomes part of who you are. That's the quiet power of self-control. The quiet power nobody can take away. We often confuse power with volume. We assume that the loudest voice is the strongest one. That confidence has to be aggressive. That leadership means dominating every conversation. But some of the most effective leaders, executives, entrepreneurs, and even warriors throughout history have never fit that description. They didn't lead with intimidation. They didn't constantly prove themselves. Instead, they carried a quiet strength that spoke louder than words ever could. And in the long run, that's exactly why they succeeded. A truly strong leader can challenge someone's thinking without humiliating them. They can correct mistakes without destroying confidence. They can redirect a conversation without raising their voice. That isn't weakness. It's one of the highest forms of self-control. It takes tremendous discipline and emotional intelligence to calm a situation instead of escalating it. To influence instead of overpower. To lead instead of dominate. Quiet people are often underestimated. Many assume that silence means insecurity. That calmness means weakness. Or that speaking less means having less to offer. But while everyone else is busy trying to be noticed, quiet people are often doing something much more valuable. They're observing. They're learning. They're preparing. They're sharpening their skills while no one is paying attention. They don't rush to prove themselves because they already know what they're capable of. And that creates a powerful advantage. In business. In leadership. In negotiations. And in everyday life. Being underestimated can become one of your greatest strengths. When people don't see you as a threat, you gain something incredibly valuable. Time to think. Time to listen. Time to understand the bigger picture before making your move. That doesn't mean quiet people are passive. Far from it. It means they've mastered restraint. They understand that the strongest presence in the room isn't always the loudest. Sometimes it's the person who earns respect through consistency. Through wisdom. Through character. And through actions that speak for themselves. They've learned that extending an open hand in peace often requires far more strength than raising a fist in anger. This kind of leadership may never attract the brightest spotlight. But it leaves the deepest impact. In a world that constantly rewards noise, quiet strength reminds us that still waters truly do run deep. If you're someone who chooses calm over chaos, who listens before speaking, who values preparation over performance, then never mistake your quietness for weakness. Your self-control is not holding you back. It's setting you apart. And no one can take that away from you. As we come to the end of this video, remember this. Real power isn't measured by how many people you can control. It's measured by how well you can control yourself. Every time you choose patience over impulse, calm over anger, discipline over distraction, and wisdom over ego, you're becoming stronger than you were yesterday. The world will always encourage you to react faster, speak louder, and prove yourself more often. You don't have to follow that path. Some of the strongest people you'll ever meet are the ones who remain calm when everyone else loses control. So this week, challenge yourself to practice just one moment of intentional self-control. Pause before you react. Listen before you respond. Think before you speak. Those small moments may seem insignificant today, but over time, they'll shape your character, and ultimately, your life. If this video encouraged you, please subscribe to Quiet Improvement, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who could benefit from this message, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. What is one situation where self-control made you stronger, or where you wish you had responded differently? Your experience might inspire someone else who is walking the same path. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I truly appreciate you being part of this community. Until next time, keep protecting your peace, keep growing quietly, and never forget. The greatest victory you'll ever achieve is mastering yourself. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.